Okay, good. I was say good morning, but no, it's good afternoon. Let's make sure we start this up. Workout. Outdoor walk. All right. So let's see where we're at today. Take a look at this sign over here. So billboard. Make sure we know exactly where we're going. So we are at the Panhandle Trail. Today is Tuesday, May 26th, 2026. We are at this place right here, Bulger. We're going to head west towards Joffre and then Bulger. We're not going to go that far. Okay, let's do it. All right, let's go west. Go west, young man. Now that's east. And this is west. There's the sign. Bulger Trailhead. Right there's a sign. It says Bulger Trailhead West. Burgestown is 4 miles. Okay, we're definitely not going that far. We're going to head towards Joffre. There's the vehicle. I've never been at this trailhead before. Okay, we are on the Panhandle Trail. It's paved. In Washington County, it's paved, so starting in McDonald, it's paved all the way to West Virginia. Now, what's that say? Water refill. Okay, water refill open. I got my own water. There's some memorial there. Hi. Alright, now we're going to get out of these backyards and into the scenic part of the trail. And actually what I like about this right here, the width of this is, it's way too wide, right? But then they let this grass grow over here and don't cut it right here. That's great. because it makes it look a little more narrow. If they cut that grass, it would go all the way over there to the tree line, and then it would look too wide. So here we are out in the wilderness. The Panhandle Trail. Looks like somebody cut this area grass right here where they were working on this little drain or something. Got all this debris on the trail right here. It's a mess. So there's a little makeshift bridge. Look how there's a sewer line, a manhole cover right there. I don't think I've ever seen that on the trail before. So we've had some pretty bad weather, lots of rain. I was out on a trail, let's say a trail, last Monday, the 18th of May. I was down on the Gap Trail, and then I didn't go outdoor walking until today. It's like a week and a day later. This is pretty nice. Now this is what I call a trail, a scenic trail. You see? The tree line's right here, the tree line's right here. None of that wide business. It's getting hot. It's in the 80s today. We just came off of a Memorial Day weekend that was soaked, raining, cool temperatures. Some cool air right here. Some shade. This is nice to see. Nice hillside up there. That's more like what you would see on the Montour Trail. So I guess the Panhandle Trail does have some places like that. Here's another one of those manhole covers. Right there. Oh, what? I can still hear vehicles driving over there somewhere. This will be slightly uphill. This is nice. Now this reminds me of the type of place I would go. We're talking 55 years ago, or 54 years ago, on a mini bike. I used to drive a mini bike when I was a kid, out on the sticks, out on the old slag dumps. Hi. This is exactly that feeling I get right here. I mean, I never had any path like this, nice paved thing, but just being out in the woods in the wilderness. Gone about a half a mile so far. There's a sign right here. Let's see what this is. "24. Is that the Panhandle Trail mile marker? I guess so. Yeah, because like down towards McDonald, between McDonald and Primrose somewhere, that's like 19. So yeah, that makes sense. Well, it's the first time I was on this part of the Panhandle Trail. First time I've been at the Bulger trailhead. In fact, I don't think I ever went on those roads that I went today to get to this. And I've driven on Noblestown Road, go from say like McDonald to Midway, and then over across towards Burgettstown, and I guess that cuts through Bulger, but I've never really gone into the middle of Bulger. Downtown Bulger. Hi. Hi. Alright, so there's mile marker 24 there. That's the type of sign that I'm used to seeing. It has the Panhandle Trail symbol underneath. So that's the official mile marker there. Panhandle Trail 24. There's a nice clearing. There's a clearing right there. Bunch of pipelines and stuff. Got a little swamp ahead of there. Nice. I wonder if I should take a selfie here. So there's a little clearing. Damn. Right when I took the photo, the video, the selfie, I sneezed twice. That's a nice long stretch right here. That is true about the Panhandle Trail. It's pretty straight for the most part. I can hear a roadway down there. See, I know I've taken that road many, many times in my lifetime. That Noblestown Road, you go from McDonald and you head over, you got near Fort Cherry and stuff, and then you end up in, I guess it's Joffre and Bulger, and then, well, Midway, and then Midway and Bulger, what is it, Midway, Bulger, Joffre, and then Burgettstown. But I've never been on this part of the Panhandle Trail for sure. I've been on the Panhandle Trail down near Walker's Mill in Rennerdale, heading towards, Oakdale. Then I've been in McDonald to head towards Sturgeon, head the other way towards Midway. Rode that bike all the way up to Midway. And then I've been in Burgettstown a couple of times on the Panhandle Trail.
Good day, buddy.
You too, thanks. Time to blow the nose. Edit that out. This is pretty right here. So these trees are cool. So there's your trail there. There's all these trees. I hear somebody talking. There must be houses over in that direction. I like to see trees like this where there's no leaves until you get way up high. Pretty cool. That's a cool cluster right there. Let's break out the alternate video. So there's Panhandle Trail. That's where we're on. It goes towards Bulger, back to where we parked. And there's all these cool trees. And a cluster of trees right there. Selfie time. Don't sneeze. Bulger. And there's those cool trees right there. Some nice trees right there too. Bulger. Hi. So I grew up, when I was in high school, I grew up in Sturgeon, which is between Oakdale and McDonald. Or say between Noblestown and McDonald. And we used to ride out on Noblestown Road all the time, past McDonald, past Midway, and all the way out on that road to Burgettstown. You pass through these towns, you never know what they were. You know, I know later I learned it was Bulger and Joffre and stuff. But we used to go out that way and then head towards Weirton. Now finally, here's a little fence. I wonder if this is an overpass. Yeah, okay, I can see some houses down in there. This is pretty high up. Whenever you see a fence like this, there's usually, you're on an overpass and there's usually a road or something underneath. And I can sort of see that here. It's hard to tell. One thing I'll say about this Panhandle Trail, you could be like this, walking on top of something and you wouldn't even know what it is. You can't really tell. Like, for example, last time I was on the Panhandle Trail, about a month ago in April, I was in Burgettstown and I headed east. And I was thinking to myself, where's the various overpasses? And meanwhile, I actually crossed over them, didn't know it, because they're kind of hidden. You know, the trail was there. There could be like a nice tunnel underneath. You never know it existed. It's humid out here today, man. Whew. Hi. Here comes one of those low rider bikes. Hi. Yeah, there was that place, like when you come out of Burgettstown heading east on this trail, there was the first place I said, I'm sure there's a creek here according to Google Earth and Google Maps and then Google Earth. I could see Raccoon Creek or something, but I couldn't tell. I mean, there's no water in it, and you couldn't even tell what you were crossing. Later, when I got home, I was checking the maps again. Sure enough, I crossed over a couple of these bridges, didn't even know it. Little tunnels underneath. So like on the Montour Trail, you'd be able to tell more about that kind of thing. Although there's that one place down in Santiago on the Montour Trail, you wouldn't be able to tell there was a, well, you could tell there's a road underneath, but you wouldn't be able to tell what it looked like, anything about the structure or anything. It's one of those hidden type deals. Oh man, it's really humid out here today. So last Tuesday we had 90s, and we dropped down, and we had some really cold stuff. Needed the heat in at home, actually. Now we spike back up. This is the 80s today. Then it's going to go back down. There's going to be rain tomorrow. And the latter part of the week is going to be in the 70s, low 70s, which is fine. So we've gone 1.1 miles so far. Hi.
So if they had just waited.
Listening to talk radio. And I can understand people doing that, but in my mind, when I come out on a trail like this, I want to sort of decouple from decouple from reality. Space out, man. I want to decouple from all that news and even music. I don't want to play any music while I'm walking. I want to just enjoy this nature. Now there's finally a bend in the trail, which I like that. Kind of breaks it up a little bit. I don't think I'm going to hit Joffre. I think that's a little too far. Let me see where we're at on, if you can look at a map real quick. Alright, so there's, like, yeah, you can't really tell anything from that. Oh, geez, what am I talking? That is where I was on the Occoganey River. That's West Newton. Alright, here's where we're at now. This is Joffre and... Alright, hang on a second. Bulger's there. Here's where we're at, that little dot. And then Joffre's coming up. So it looks like we're about halfway between Bulger and Joffre. So I've gone 1.15 miles. It's probably going to be a little too far to get to Joffre. You know, because you got to walk back, so it's not that far, but then you got to walk back, so that's double, so. Joffre. So I went through a little town today coming down here called Candor. I don't think I've ever been through that little community. Came down off of I was on I-576. Got off that Beach Hollow exit, which, you know, kind of parallels 980 there for a while. But then you get off of that and you go on this Bulger Candor Road. Go through Candor. You get to Bulger. So I pulled that map up, and that's the last time I had looked at that map on this phone. And that was a couple weeks ago, down on the Gap Trail. I was near that Bud Town, which is down from West Newton, like going a mile south, mile east of that. South and east from West Newton down to Bud Town on the Yock. I'm sure that Noblestown Road's pretty close to. Let me see this. Let's ask me to end the workout. No, we don't want to end the workout. So we want to see where we're at again. Alright, so there's Joffre coming up. And Joffre Bulger Road. But trying to see where would that Noblestown Road be. It's hard to see in the sunlight like this. Plus I leave my reading glasses in the car. So I got sunglasses, but I can't see anything through that. What's this thing right here? Wonder if that was something for the old railroad line. Some type of sign or signal maybe was on that. Who knows? There's nothing written there. There's no, well, there's something over there. I don't know if that's a pipeline. Pipeline would be a little lower and it would be cleared. Oh, wait a minute. What's this pause bullshit? Damn it. Somehow that got paused. How the hell did that happen? I must have touched something on here. I must have accidentally touched something. 1.22 miles. What does this one say? Here we go, 1.22. Okay. Hopefully I didn't lose any count on that. I hate that. You touch something the wrong way on the phone or on the watch. It happens all the time on the watch. Even some kind of truck up here. Looks like some kind of a fence, some yards or something up there. Probably some kind of garbage truck. Oh, this is really pretty over here. There's some nice scenery out there. Don't touch this the wrong way. See, it looks like it said end workout again. Or something. It wants to do something. Get rid of that for a minute. There's a funny smell out here. Alright, so looking straight ahead. Some nice looking trees. There's the Panhandle Trail towards Joffre. And there it is towards Bulger. Overpronouncing words. Make sure this thing's still running. I haven't had any water yet. Jeez. Better hurry up and drink some of this. I'm sweating like crazy. I was going to go down to the Gap Trail again today, but first I didn't feel like driving all that way. Just didn't feel like it today. I wasn't up to it. And secondly, it's going to rain in the afternoon. The further south you go, the more rain you're going to hit. So that's down. You go on to Route 70 and it's over towards Route 51 south and everything. So I didn't want to chance it. Hi. Well, this is pretty peaceful out here. So there's somebody's place over there. It's almost like this is well hidden, this path, this trail, which is good. I was used to the wide open parts where it's not hidden. This is pretty nice. If I can make it to Joffre, it's probably going to take me to like the 2-mile mark. Then I'll have to walk back. I don't want to push myself.
Coming up on your left.
Oh, jeez. That guy yelled that.
Have a good one, buddy.
Hi, you too. You too. He yelled that so loud, it scared the heck out of me. Didn't know he was coming. Now we're coming to a clearing type wide open section right here. It's gonna be hot. Hi. Guess we're getting close to Joffre. Yeah, see. Well, it's still got a little ways to go. Probably about 2/3 of the way to Joffre right now. Oh, this is nice little clearing. There's a fence over there, people's yards or whatever. There's some farmland over there. I don't think there's much up here in Joffre as far as trailheads go. Now I see a mile marker coming up, so we've gone past that 124 one. This one should be 25. That's a nice wide open section over there. Cool. Hi.
Howdy.
Hi. Here's that bird over there. So we've gone, okay, 1.54 miles. There's mile marker 25 on the Panhandle Trail. Let's see if you can zoom all in on that sign there. The Panhandle Trail, yeah. Mile marker 25. There's the trail. Little bend in that. And then here, there's a little bend in that direction. Let's get that sign in there. Sign right between my fingers. Yeah. Let's just keep going. See, I don't want to get burned out on this because, you know, my body getting messed up because I'm going to go back out on the trail later in the week. After tomorrow is no good. You know, tomorrow's raining and not good. But then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, there's going to be some nice days. I want to get back out on the trail, but I don't want to, you know, wreck my body going too far today. Probably already going to wreck it. It doesn't take much these days to hurt yourself. Despite all the walking I do, I still need time to recover my muscles. There's an interesting little pathway right there. Wonder what that's all about. Come this far, you'd hate to stop and turn around. You want to see what this Joffre looks like. I mean, you know, the trailhead up there, if there is one. I like how they paved those trailheads because on the Google Earth, That one I parked at in Bulger still looks like a dirt path, dirt trailhead, but it was paved. The one in Burgettstown, I was here a month ago, that's all paved. So I guess they went around and paved them, which is good. Beef it up, spruce it up. Now on the Montour Trail, there's a lot of those dirt ones, which I don't really prefer. Nice clearing over there. So there's some kind of a pipeline there. Well, it's really warm. Hot. Let's see if we can see where we're at on this. I shouldn't do this. I mean, alright, hey, we're really close to Joffre. There's Joffre, if you can see that on this body cam. There's Joffre, there's us. Now Bulger's way back there. Let's turn it sideways. So Bulger's there, Joffre's there, and there's us. I mean me. Right there. So we're really, really close to Joffre. So we're just going to go ahead and go to Joffre. The Bulger-Joffre conjunction. This is pretty nice, actually. This is nice and smooth. Paved trail. I can see something coming up. We've come this far. We're going to keep going to Joffre. It's a nice wide open place up here. Hi. Good, how are you? Yeah, okay, I can see some cars parked up there. Civilization. And where's the actual trailhead parking, if there is any? It's up there. It looks like somebody's driveway. This is pretty out here. There's a nice view, wide open view. Keep hearing something. I think something's coming behind me. There's a house with two garages. That's a pretty hillside way up there. It's beautiful. That's what it's like out in the country. Now you would hope to see some type of trailhead parking or whatever up here. Maybe not. Yeah, there's a road over there, it goes up to this house. Maybe there is no trailhead parking. There's a road there. Yeah, I don't think there's any trailhead parking here. So we're going to be turning around because I already crossed over 2 mile mark, right? Yeah. I ain't gonna go too much further. Let's see if you can see anything on this map. So we are right here. We just crossed over that road. Let's see. Wait a minute. So Bulger's over here. Right? Bulger and then Joffre. I don't see any indication of a trailhead. Should have looked that up before I came out here. It doesn't really matter. I'm not going. I wasn't parking out here, so. Yeah, I think we're going to turn around. Alright, so we are at 2.03, so say it's 2 miles. I'll take a little break. Now, let me just look at that map real quick again, because when I was out here, okay, so Burgettstown, yeah, down there. I'm thinking like I'm pretty close to where I was before on this trail a month ago. This is hard to see. It's a tiny little map here. Geez, that's pretty close to Burgettstown. Alright, whatever. We're not going to go any further anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I think I was right up there on the edge of houses back that way. Alright, let's turn around and go back. So we're at 2.0. I came further than I thought today. Nice wide open field, and then there's this way up on the hillside up there, way across, nice set of trees and stuff. If I take pictures, people are going to think I'm taking pictures of their home, but you know what, I don't really give a shite. So what? I'm allowed to take pictures of whatever the hell I want to. I don't want to be like I'm spying on people, but alright, so way out there, there's some trees and stuff. Alright, that's enough. Well, I'll tell you what, it's been over a month, at least over a month, probably like a month and a half or more since I've watched any of that First Amendment auditing crap. I used to watch that all the time, all those different channels. People would go to various places, videoing things and stand right out in front of somebody's business. And it'd get everybody all pissed off at them, and confrontations, cops would be called, pepper spray was employed. I just got kind of tired of watching that stuff. Most of those people don't have jobs. And it's like they're not retired. Like me, I'm retired. I don't have a job anymore. I mean, these people are kind of like derelict types. This is a great walk today, I'll tell you. I wish there was a little more like remnants of some railroad stuff or whatever, like you see on the Montour Trail or even the Gap Trail. You see those old mines and stuff. Here you're not really seeing that, but it's nice. Now I'm going to be taking more breaks because I'm on my way back and I'm tired now. So last Monday when I went on the Gap Trail, I went down to Cedar Creek Park. Later when I got home, edited all the video stuff together. Ended up being a long one. It's like going to be more than 2 hours total. So I decided to speed up certain portions that were maybe a little boring or whatever. I speeded up some decent sized portions on the video when I uploaded it. Hi. So I took a little part of a segment when I was heading in the one direction. I took a little bit of that and sped that up. And then on the return walk, I sped a lot of that up. And the thing I uploaded to YouTube had those sped up portions. So the grand total, instead of being like a 2-hour YouTube video, ended up being like an hour and 18 minutes or something, like almost an hour and 20 minutes. Now I still have those videos unmodified in my, photo video collection, which I'm going to keep. Hi.
Hi.
But what I've done to cut back on the, I'm paying for iCloud storage an extra amount, right? I'm already paying for it, but in order to cut back a little bit, I export those things out to a hard drive, external hard drive, and store all those walk videos, video walks, out to the hard drive, and then get them off of my computer, get them off of all my devices and off of iCloud. But I saved those segments that were the normal speed. You never know, one day you might want to go back and look at them unmodified. Another thing I was thinking about, again, talking about this the last couple videos, where you get your stuff off of your this DJI action cam there's a app on your phone or your iPad, but not on your computer. You can't get the app on there, where you just download the files, video files, directly into your photo video situation on Apple on your mobile device. Then you're kind of waiting for it to sync up to iCloud, large segments like that, so that when you get to your computer you can have them available. It takes a while though. What I thought of doing this time, I'm going to give it a shot, is once you get them off your camera onto your phone or iPad, just right then and there, export them to an external drive, okay, those segments. Then go over to your computer and read them in from that external drive onto your computer, and then pull those into your photo video situation. So you've immediately got them there. Now they're still going to be synced to iCloud, but you're doing like a bypass of that just to get them on your computer quicker. And then you do your editing in iMovie, and then later everything's going to be all synced up eventually, and then you can just move ahead without waiting. Because last time it took me almost all night to wait for those darn videos. It was like, I don't know, maybe it was like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I had them on my iPad. I was waiting and waiting until it took till 8 o'clock or something before they got synced into iCloud. And I got good internet. I mean, it's not that. It's just that iCloud syncing, there's nothing you can do about it. You're stuck. It takes as long as it takes, no matter what. You try to cut out all your other internet activity. You try to do what you can do, but you just can't make it go any faster than it wants to. It's out of your control. That's what I don't like about it. It's saying, we know better than you, sir. We're going to sync this at our own little pace. Anyway, I could have bypassed like 4 hours of waiting by just copying them over, bypassing iCloud real quick, get them onto the computer quick, and then deal with that eventually on iCloud. I really wish that app, that DJI app, was working on the computer, because that would eliminate all that crap. Anyway, again, here's mile marker 25, Panhandle Trail. See, it says it's paused again. What in the hell is going on with this happy horse shite? Gosh dang it. I didn't want it to be paused. What the fuck is going on with this thing? Resume, you jagoff. Alright. Here's that mile marker. And there's the Panhandle Trail. There's somebody put a sign on that Great American Rail Trail. So you gotta be really careful how you grab that. Now let's see if we can get this screen back to the way you want it. It's showing me this screen that I don't like. There's the one I want, see? That's the screen I want to see all the time. It has your readings, all your readings in one place. There's that alternate screen that it switches to sometimes, and you can't get it back somehow. It's very sensitive. Apple's great, but there's a lot of quirks. I need another water break. I need another break because I'm tired, man. Boy, the sweat is pouring down me now. Sweat been going me down, down. Burton used to sing that. Nothing Wrong with the Road song from his 1981 album. Sweet, Sweet. It's that song where he sings, sweat been going me down, down. Sweat be going me down, down. Something like that. Sweat be going me down, down. Now there's a nice little shot. Now again, you watch this so you don't touch something weird and wrong. Alright, so check that out there. That's really pretty. That's max zoom right there. That's the Panhandle Trail. That way goes back to Bulger. That way goes to Joffre. All right. It's a nice shot right there. All right. Whatever. Good. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm not overdoing it, so. There's all these cracks in this pavement, just like back there in, saw that in the Burgestown area. And you don't see any kind of like sealant or anything on these. They don't bother with maintaining it in that way. Coming out here and putting all kind of sealant all over these cracks. There's a crack up there. Heading back this way, I saw it looked like a bunch of ants and stuff coming out. See if I can find that again. Keep paying attention. There's looks like a little fence over there that maybe someone used to drive through. There's a little roadway through there. There's a crack with dirt coming out. Well, let's get into the political thing real quick and just get it over with. No, maybe we don't want to do that. Maybe we do. I support what Trump is doing. But I think this needs to come to an end, this Iran thing. And, now the ceasefire has lasted, I guess, longer than the actual fighting campaign, bombing campaign. But every day goes by. I mean, at least they're not bombing anymore, but it's not ending quickly enough. These Iranians are a bunch of pricks, man. They are not to be trusted at all. And it's almost like you got to bomb them into submission, but the bombing has stopped for a good long time now. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with that. It's going to be like you're always going to be monitoring them. You're always going to be checking them out. They're always going to be cheating. But, if you listen to Trump, he's been saying it now for a long time, over a month, maybe 5 weeks. He's been saying, oh, they're basically decimated. They're basically gone. The war is basically over. It's been won. What? Damn it, it's complaining about continuing your workout. What the hell are you doing, man? I'm walking here. I didn't stop. Anyway, he's been saying that for a long time. They don't have any Navy. All their ships are in the bottom of the ocean. They don't have any Air Force. We've degraded this, we've degraded that. They don't have anything. Then we did the blockade to block away all their potential sources of revenue. They can't sell any oil, they can't do anything. They're basically defeated. So why aren't we done yet? We have to sign a deal. It's either sign the greatest deal or no deal. We're not going to have anything in between like Obama. Well, I don't know if you're ever going to get there. Another thing, every day you hear these Iranian jerks out there on the news saying all this stuff against us, making it sound like they're way still in it, like they still got a chance. The point is reached where I think we've gone too far. I mean, gone too far. What I mean by that is it's gone on too long. I think the Americans want this to be over. We want our gas prices back down. Think about that, man. We had some gas prices are going down continuously ever since Trump took over, and they were down pretty darn low. Now all of a sudden they're way the hell up. Cracks me up because we don't even use that oil coming from there. But the global trading market has the prices high everywhere. He better get that situation under control pretty soon, because what the hell's that noise going on up there? Midterms are going to come around, and if we're still dicking around with this, it's going to be bad news for Trump. What I'm looking forward to later in the year is when those 4 Non-Blondes songs start coming out. Apparently their album's finished. I'm gonna get a drink of water anyway. So here's the deal. They were working on that album. They got back together last year in 2025, 4 Non-Blondes, and they started doing some concerts. They've done a bunch of concerts, and everything was moving along. They've got new albums being mixed or whatever. And then comes along this Linda Perry solo, where she was able to get that sold, picked up, that her documentary, and to go along with it, in order to get that going, she had to come up with a new album solo. So she's got a solo album that came out, goes along with the documentary. let it die here. So it kind of puts that Four Non Blondes thing on hold. But she said that later this year, in 2026, there'll be a couple of singles coming out from that forthcoming album. And then in 2027, the album will come out, the Four Non Blondes. So looking forward to it. I've heard some of the stuff in concert there. Some of the songs sound pretty good. She actually sounded pretty good. On her solo stuff, I've seen her doing performances of that on various shows. She sounds good. I mean, she's like 61 now. Linda Perry. Never thought you'd see it happen. All the times I've wondered about it. I've wished for it. Figure like 30 years ago, in 1996, her first solo album came out. It flopped. 3 years later, her second solo album came out. Never even heard about it coming out. I mean, you heard it was coming, but you never heard anything about it. It was like buried. And then she switched into the songwriter-producer role for more than 20 years. It's been like 25 years or whatever. Now she's back. The kind of thing that's bothering me is hearing that workers over there, loud trucks and stuff. I'd rather it be like more quiet when you're out on a trail like this. Let's see if I can get something going here. Get a copyright strike for playing music, but let me see something here real quick. I can always mute that out from the video. I'm going to wait until it gets to the part I want to hear. don't know if I can find that part of the song. You know what? Forget it. I'm not going to find that particular section, that phrase. It's a waste of time. There you go. Mill service. RD1. See, that sign right there is like the sign that I saw about a month ago when I was on the other section down near Burgettstown. Mill Service Incorporated, Bulger, treated effluent water. Okay. So when I was down at Burgettstown, there was a sign that was worn away. You could hardly read it at all. And it was like that sign. Now there's a sign, private property. Private property, no trespassing. Notice, video surveillance in use on the premises. Ooh. Hey, I got my own. Hey, I got my own video surveillance, buddy. I got 2 cameras. How many do you have? See, this damn thing saying paused again. What the hell is going down with this son of a biatch? Didn't even touch anything and it paused it. It sucks. Gats to be careful. Grabbed your phone the wrong way. It touched on a button that paused the video because there's a thing on your phone showing you that screen. Now, when I first started doing these walks and I had my phone all the time, there was never a thing that mirrored that on the phone. Like this thing right here. This business of let's see. Turn it sideways. Here, this one. This is exactly what's on here. And there should be a timer. Whatever. That was never on this phone before, or my old phone even. But now it's on here. So every time you grab that phone, you accidentally touch that screen, you pause the video somehow. Pause your walk. Not you pause the video, pause your walk. Technology, man. A rooster sound over there. So now the last 2 times I was on a trail, it was a gap trail. It was right along the Youghiogheny River. Now this is landlocked right here. Hear that? Rooster. Here comes the rooster. Oh, yeah. Start singing. other thing about modifying these videos on your computer with iMovie, the only reason I do it that way is because iMovie on the iPad doesn't have all the same features. It's got like a shorthand way of doing things, and it doesn't have all the full capability. So when you try to copy in, edit in your little clips from your phone, then you want to like delete that little piece from the body cam footage, because you don't want to show two things. When you're taking a picture with your phone, holding it up like this and everything, you want the actual phone, the video in place of that. I found it hard to edit something more complicated like that. Now you can paste together some stuff and you might be able to stick some things in, but trying to edit those segments, whatever, is more difficult on your iPad. Whereas on the computer, you can do a more fine-tuning editing with the tools there. So that's the whole reason for doing it on the computer to begin with. Otherwise, I'd rather be just doing it on the iPad. If there was no editing involved, I used to do that when I would have no body cam at the point. I used to take pictures and photos, with this, my old phone, and then have all these video clips, and all I wanted to do is paste them all together, tack them one onto the other to produce a little video. That was easy to do on the iPad or phone. Once you got to start surgically cutting and pasting, it's a little more tricky. And there was a point reached where I was doing some of that editing on the iPad, and then they did an upgrade, and then all of a sudden it didn't work the same way anymore. You had to learn relearn it because they updated. I hate when that happens. I feel a sneeze coming on. Like you get a process all nailed down, you figured out exactly what you got to do. You've done it a bunch of times. Then all of a sudden one time you come along and it doesn't work that way anymore because they did an upgrade to the system. Changed all the tools around a little bit. So-called improvements. Change it whether we need it to or not type of deal. Now see, this gosh dang thing is complaining again about pausing. What the hell is going on with this horse shit? This is starting to piss me off. I didn't want to pause that. Son of a bitch. Resume. Okay, now get this back to that screen that I like. Oh, this is really pissing me off. I can't find that screen again. See, this is what happens. You get to a screen that you don't want. Yeah, this is really screwed up. I'm trying to find that screen again, and I can't. It's like it's locked into some other goofy screen. That sucks, man. At least there's this one. Sometimes you're able to flick on that and get it back. There it is. Okay. It's like some random movements can get you back to it. It blows, okay? It blows. All of a sudden you look down and it's paused again or something. I better not touch this stuff anymore. Hi. Oh, I accidentally dropped some of my water. Didn't mean to do that. Well, I'm tired now. I would say this trail is a little bit too much the same. It's a little monotonous. There's not enough variety on this. See, like back there, look how straight that is. Wow. Here's that clearing area. The pipeline's going through. You can see it all the way over there. And then all the way over here. Mile marker 24. There's that bench where those people were sitting before. My head's like soaking wet with sweat. What's that say there? My mom. And my mom heal her. She is Superwoman and caring. That's weird. Someone wrote that on there. There's another one of those manhole covers. What does that sign say right there? Sanitary. Poop free. So we're at like 3.5 roughly, so we got about 0.5 to go. See, right about at this point, just like last Monday, I start getting like my muscles in my back are starting to get stiff, my neck and shoulders. kind of like my posture isn't real good, I guess. Hi. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a manhole cover like that directly in the trail, like say down on Montour Trail or anything, or even that gap trail. I've seen a couple of these so far today. Almost like you're on a road. This is actually kind of rare for the Panhandle Trail to have like a hillside on one side and the other side. Two sides have hillsides. That's unique. Listen to some kind of story. That is wild. Well, at this time last year, this is May 26th, last year at this time, I had my Blazer in the shop for the hail damage repairs, and it was supposed to have been done, finished, but it kept dragging on week after week because they didn't have the appropriate number of paint bays. They only had one paint bay, and they had all these vehicles lined up, so my car was on hold for so long. But eventually got that back, and eventually got rid of it. Now, the new Blazers, so they're not having a 2027 year model. They have a 26 model, which is basically the same as what it's been for years. And the 28 model is going to be refreshed, slight redesign, not a big deal, but that's not coming until the 2028 model year, and it'll start becoming available for sale in early 27, they said. So you can't buy a 27 model year because there isn't one. But from what I've seen, the camouflage pictures, and then they did some renderings. Somebody did some renderings of it, what they think it's going to look like. It doesn't look that much different than what it already was. And it doesn't look as good. So, whatever. I don't have a Blazer anymore, so I don't really care. But it's interesting because I've had I had that Blazer for like 6 years, and I liked it. It was a good vehicle. Well, I'm smelling like a burning wood type deal. Yeah, I had the 3.6 V6 engine. It was great. 308 horsepower, man. That was superb. That was a great vehicle for that. That was my most powerful vehicle I've ever owned. It was good. It had guts. Yeah, they quit building that Premier model. I had the Premier. There's the Premier and the RS, which had the availability to get that 3.6 liter V6 engine. They stopped making the Premier model. And they only make the RS, as well as a couple of those lower ones, lower models. Hi. But you know, in the latter years there, the Premier model didn't look as good as mine. Mine was from 2019, and it was pretty, and it had the paint going down the sides, all the way down along the sides. None of that cladding crap. But then in the last few years that they were making that Premier model, they stopped doing that, and they put this like silver body cladding all around the bottom. And I think that didn't look as good. I like to see it painted all the way down to the bottom. But, you know, that's just my preference. The other thing is, those RS wheels look like crap. They got the one that's pretty much the same as it was when I first got mine. The RS wheels on the lower, it was like a 20-inch. They look like pretty much the same as they do now. They look really crappy. That's the first thing your eyes are drawn to when you see that vehicle coming. You're like, oh, look at those stupid wheels on that. Now there's another wheel that's a 21-inch that's not the same 21-inch they used to have. It's a different one. It has like a more of a design in there. It looks okay. You have to pay extra for that one. But you know what? To hell with it. I don't own that stuff anymore. I got me a Lexus. I'm in the Toyota Lexus family. Like they said, you'll never want another vehicle again. Now I'm seeing that trailhead coming up. We got about 3.8 miles, so got about 2.2 miles to go. Looks like a mattress or something right there. Now see this right here. I'm not going to walk in that. I'm going to walk around that. Whoever was working on this, they left it like that. Instead of just, you know, sweeping this up, they left all this grass clippings on the trail. Really stupid. The Bulger trailhead. I have to hold my arms up to straighten out that kink in my neck there right now. You know, once you get in the car and sit down, then that kind of eases up the muscle. I still don't see my car yet. Looks like I crossed over 4 miles already. Alright, I see my car now. That kind of scared me there for a second. See what that sign is up here. Alright, let's go this way actually. The car looks nice. It's all nice and washed off because of that rain that we had. Alright, so there's Lincoln Street. And then there's this sign right here, Panhandle Trail. There's Bulger right in the middle. Alright. So we are at the Panhandle Trail, Bulger Trailhead, Bulger, PA. Tuesday, May 26, 2026. We're going to be signing off right now. Bye-bye. Wait a minute. Not bye-bye yet. Hold on. Let's get in here first. Ouch. My legs are stiff. Whew. Let's start this bad boy up. Whew. Damn, is it hot. Let's leave this body cam on for a second. Turn that air on. Damn. Oops. Alright, now put this end workout 4.1. Okay. 4.1 miles. And then, here we go. Hi, Lexus. Tell me a joke.
I just got kicked out of a secret cooking society. I spilled the beans.
Okay, signing off right now. Bye-bye.